You're walking down a street you've never been on before. A stranger passes, a car honks, a dog barks, and suddenly it hits you. You've been here before. You know what's about to happen next. Every detail feels eerily familiar, yet you're certain you've never lived this moment. That strange, fleeting feeling is déjà vu, and nearly 2/3 of people experience it at some point in their lives. It lasts only seconds, a momentary glitch in your perception of time and memory. But for centuries, it's made philosophers, scientists, and psychologists ask the same question. What is déjà vu? A brain malfunction, a memory error, or something far deeper? Proof that reality isn't quite what it seems. Today on the Mind Metrics, we're diving deep into the mystery of déjà vu, exploring what causes it, what it reveals about your brain, and what it might mean about the very nature of time, memory, and consciousness itself. The feeling of the familiar, a universal phenomenon. The phrase déjà vu comes from French, meaning already seen. It was first coined in the 1870s by a philosopher named Émile Boirac, who described it as the illusion of having lived through the present moment before. And that word, illusion, may be the key. Because déjà vu doesn't happen when we actually experience something familiar. It happens when the brain feels familiarity, but can't find the source. It's as if two wires, recognition and memory, accidentally cross, creating a spark of false familiarity. For a split second, the present moment is mistaken for a memory. And that flicker of confusion is so convincing, it can make you question your own reality. The brain's loop. When memory misfires. To understand déjà vu, we need to look at how your brain processes experiences in real time. Every second, your senses flood your brain with information: sights, sounds, smells, textures. This information flows into a part of the brain called the hippocampus, which acts as the memory's librarian, sorting experiences into new or known. But sometimes this system glitches. When new information enters your sensory cortex, it should be labeled as present. However, if that signal takes a shortcut, firing through the brain's temporal lobe, which handles memory recognition before the full context arrives, your brain briefly classifies the experience as something you've seen before. It's as if your memory gets ahead of your perception. A split-second overlap that tricks your consciousness into thinking the present is a memory from the past. The result? That eerie cinematic moment we call déjà vu. The electrical echo, a neurological clue. The biggest breakthrough in understanding déjà vu came not from psychology, but from neurology. Patients with temporal lobe epilepsy often report intense déjà vu right before a seizure. During these moments, their brains show bursts of abnormal electrical activity in the temporal lobe, the same region that helps encode memory and recognize familiarity. This led researchers to suspect that déjà vu might be a miniature version of that same process. A harmless, momentary micro-seizure or electrical echo that causes the brain to replay its own perception. In other words, déjà vu could be the brain accidentally echoing itself. But while epilepsy provided clues to the mechanism, it didn't explain why healthy people experience it or why it feels so profound. The memory theory, when the mind confuses itself. One of the most accepted scientific explanations is the dual processing theory. The idea that déjà vu happens when your short-term and long-term memory systems get out of sync. Here's how it works. When you experience something new, your brain stores it first in short-term memory. If it's important, it's then transferred into long-term memory. But sometimes the brain mistakenly files a new experience directly into long-term storage, as if it's recalling, not recording. So when you look around and feel like you remember this place, your brain isn't accessing a real past event. It's accessing a false memory it just created seconds earlier. It's memory mislabeling, a false flag in your mind's filing system. The sensation of remembering without a real memory attached. That's why déjà vu feels both so real and so impossible. The frequency of the unfamiliar, who experiences it most. Curiously, déjà vu isn't evenly distributed. It tends to happen most in young adults between ages 15 and 30, and less frequently as we age. Why? Younger brains are more flexible, more prone to rapid information processing and cross-referencing. The faster your brain connects new and old information, the more likely it is to blur the lines between them. It's also more common in people who travel frequently, read fiction, or play video games, all activities that immerse you in vivid, shifting environments. Essentially, déjà vu thrives on mental stimulation. When your brain is constantly scanning for patterns, it sometimes creates them where none exist. The experience is your mind saying, "I recognize this pattern," even if it's entirely new. The matrix theory, when reality feels broken. Of course, science isn't the only lens through which déjà vu has been interpreted. Across history and culture, people have viewed déjà vu as something far more mysterious. Some spiritual traditions believe it's a sign of reincarnation, glimpses of past lives resurfacing in the present. Others see it as evidence of parallel universes, that déjà vu is the moment when two versions of reality briefly intersect, and you catch a glimpse of the life you might have lived. In modern times, pop culture has turned déjà vu into shorthand for glitches in the simulation, as if the universe itself is reloading a scene. While these interpretations aren't scientific, they highlight something deeply human, our need to assign meaning to the inexplicable. Because déjà vu doesn't just make us feel confused, it makes us feel connected to something beyond ourselves. The time loop, when your brain predicts the present. One of the more mind-bending theories is that déjà vu isn't memory at all, it's prediction. Your brain constantly tries to anticipate what's about to happen next. When you walk into a new room, it's already simulating how objects might look from different angles, how voices might echo, what you'll feel or smell next. Sometimes that simulation perfectly aligns with reality. And when your sensory input matches your brain's prediction exactly, you get the uncanny sensation that you've already lived it. In essence, déjà vu might be your brain predicting the future so accurately that, for a moment, time feels like it's repeating. It's not magic. It's just a side effect of how extraordinary human cognition really is. The science of meaning. Why déjà vu matters. So, what does déjà vu mean? Beyond the science, what does this phenomenon reveal about us? It shows that the human mind is not a perfect recording device. It's a storyteller. It's constantly stitching together fragments of perception, memory, and imagination into a single, seamless narrative we call reality. Déjà vu is a glitch in that story, a moment when the stitching frays and we glimpse the seams. It reminds us that memory isn't just what we've experienced, it's what our brain believes we've experienced. And in those few seconds of confusion, we see just how fragile that belief really is. The mystery remains. After decades of research, scientists can explain the mechanics of déjà vu, but not its mystique. Why does it feel so profound, so haunting? Why does it fill us not just with curiosity, but with a strange sense of destiny, as if we've touched something beyond understanding? Perhaps déjà vu is more than just a neurological hiccup. Perhaps it's our mind's way of showing us that time, memory, and consciousness are more intertwined than we realize. A brief reminder that reality, the solid, linear, logical world we trust, might be more flexible than it appears. So, why do we feel déjà vu? Maybe it's a misfire of memory, maybe it's the brain's predictive machinery at work. Or maybe, just maybe, it's something we don't yet have the language to explain. Because the most powerful experiences in life, love, awe, fear, déjà vu, can't be fully dissected by science alone. They exist in the space between data and mystery, the thin line where the known meets the unknowable. And maybe that's why déjà vu fascinates us so deeply. For just a few seconds, we feel like we've stepped outside of time itself. a fleeting glimpse behind the curtain of reality before it closes again. Thanks for watching The Mind Metrics. If this episode left you thinking, drop a comment below. Have you ever experienced deja vu that felt truly unexplainable? And if you haven't yet, maybe one day, when you least expect it, you'll feel like you've seen this video before. Until next time, stay curious.